Okay, this is part 2. I got the hydraulic pump today and got this bracket mounted up, and as I showed, it just goes in on those 2 bolts there. I actually, instead of bending it, I just cut it and welded it so it's in a little bit tighter of a bend. So it'll lay out just like that there. And then I got the pump mounted up. That sits in right down here. Let me get a little more light in here. Just mounted off that bolt there. It's a little 1 liter per minute hydraulic pump. I got to turn the valve or the pressure gauge if I can get it to turn, because I got it epoxied in there to see what pressures I'm running. And then that's the suction line on this side, pressure out, and the pressure relief return. And I got to get those plumbed in possibly tomorrow. And I had to move the coil that was down right over here. I had to move that up top, and I'm gonna have to reroute the wires a little bit. But I got the power wire hooked up. I just got to bring the points wire up. That's right here yet. I got to lengthen it a little bit and then hook that to the coil. So I just mounted that on that bolt there, and the reservoir's still on that side. And it should work out pretty good, I think. The motor controller will get bolted to the bottom of the battery tray. And just mount it on the bottom here, weld some bolts on it or whatever I have to do, and then mount that underneath there so then it's protected, it's out of the elements, and shouldn't have any problem with things getting wet and shorted out and stuff or whatever. And that's what I got for the second part. Still got to get some more fittings for the reservoir can to hook up the hose, and it just runs really small hose, but this thing, I watched the video and this pump really has some good flow. But yeah, it's just quarter inch OD tubing. That's your suction line and return line. And that should be all the guy needs for that. Just a tiny little motor. The one thing I had to do to this motor when I got it was the bearings on the motor itself. The top here and the one on the bottom side of the motor, they are not a sealed bearing. They're just open to air on both sides. So I went to a farm supply store and I got sealed bearings, and just change out the bearings right away. That way it's got a sealed bearing on it. Any questions, just ask. Thank you.